Feuds are as old as rock itself. For whatever reason, incredible music talent also breeds animosity. Whether it's a rivalry with another artist, infighting within one's own band, or arguments among former friends, rock and turmoil are rarely far apart. I'm Matt Wardlaw for Ultimate Classic Rock. Make sure that you're subscribed to this UCR channel and go ahead and hit the notifications button so that you'll receive all of our latest videos. This year saw an interesting mix of rock feuds. Some were brand new battles rising to the surface for the first time, others represented the renewal of decades-old rivalries. Then there were disputes that were completely unique unto themselves, like one of music's biggest names taking on an entire religion. Here are several of the biggest rock feuds of 2021. We'll start with Roger Waters versus David Gilmour. Now stop us if you've heard this one before, but the members of Pink Floyd haven't been getting along. This year, a lot of the barbs between David Gilmour and Roger Waters centered on the long-delayed reissue of the band's 1977 album Animals. Part of the wait is due to liner notes, which the band can't agree on. In a post to his website, Waters alleged that Gilmour wants that history to remain secret regarding how much Waters contributed to Animals. Gilmour responded saying that there's a lot of misinformation, adding that I'm not keen on constantly responding to every bit of untruth that I hear about myself and what I'm doing. Needless to say, that Animals reissue remains pretty unlikely. And then there's Paul McCartney versus the Stones. Add this to the long-standing Beatles versus Rolling Stones feud, which both sides insist doesn't exist. During an October interview published by The New Yorker, Paul McCartney suggested that the Fab Four broke more musical ground than the Stones. I'm not sure I should say it, but they're a blues cover band. That's sort of what the Stones are, McCartney declared. I think our net was cast a bit wider than theirs. In response, Mick Jagger made a snide comment of his own during a sold-out concert in Los Angeles.
There's so many celebrities here tonight, of course, naturally. Megan Fox is here, she's lovely. Leonardo DiCaprio, Lady Gaga, Kirk Douglas. I got it wrong, I think. I misread that one. Paul McCartney is here, he's going to join us on the blues cover later on.
McCartney wasn't the only one swinging at the Stones. Who frontman Roger Daltrey took a swipe of his own during a November interview with the Coda Collection. Though he initially referred to Stones singer Mick Jagger as the #1 rock and roll performer, things soon devolved from there. As a band, if you were outside a pub and you heard that music coming out of a pub some night, you'd think, well, that's a mediocre pub band, Daltrey said, insinuating that the Stones weren't worthy of their lofty place in rock history. Unlike the McCartney situation, Jagger and his bandmates opted not to respond. Former Van Halen frontman David Lee Roth is always generating commentary both on and off stage. In early 2020, prior to live music's shutdown due to the pandemic, Kiss and David Lee Roth were touring together. When concerts resumed this year, the acts were no longer sharing the same bill. Never short for words, Gene Simmons explained that Roth would no longer be opening for Kiss, alluding to the frontman's depleted skills. He was the ultimate frontman, Simmons said about Roth. And then, I don't know what happened to him. Roth updated his Instagram account with 18 identical black and white images of a child wearing sunglasses extending his middle finger, along with the caption, "Roth to Simmons." The Kiss bassist later sincerely apologized for what he said, saying that he never meant to insult Roth. That brings us to Sammy Hagar versus David Lee Roth. Sammy also had some pointed words for Roth during an interview in June. The Red Rocker declared that Roth's voice has not aged well, accusing the singer of pretending with his totally BS stage persona. Hagar went on to outline how he likes to enlighten and elevate people, making them happy with his performances and songwriting. I don't think Roth cares about anything like that, he said. And that's the difference between our presents. He's very much into himself, very much into being a showman, and doesn't really care. I don't know what he cares about. I really don't. And here's one more. Elton John versus the Catholic Church. Go big or go home, right? When the Catholic Church confirmed its stance against same-sex unions, referring to them as a sinful choice that God cannot bless, it stirred the ire of Elton John. The out and proud rock star noted that despite the Vatican's stance, the church had no problem making money off of his biopic. How can the Vatican refuse to bless gay marriages because they are sin, yet happily make a profit from investing millions in Rocket Man, a film which celebrates my finding happiness from my marriage to David? #hypocrisy, John wrote. Indeed, the church invested more than $1 million into the production of Rocket Man, an R-rated picture which featured scenes of gay sex. This would seemingly be at odds with the church's conservative views. However, the Vatican never gave an official response on the matter. Find more great rock feuds from 2021 by clicking the link in this video's description, and make sure to subscribe to our UCR channel here on YouTube for all of the best news and history of classic rock and pop culture.